have a guest, first-time guest on the podcast.
I'm Elijah. I am a lover of Cincinnati beer and home brewer and parent.
We are talking about Barleywine.
Are you a dinosaur?
Oh, man.
There's a dinosaur.
There's a dinosaur on the loose.
I have.
Ezra's the exact same way.
You moved the camera, Lily.
Can you kick it that way a smidge? That was too much. Never mind. It was this way a smidge. This way a little bit more. A little bit more. A little bit more.
Oh.
That was
Too much.
more. Nope. Stop. Can you?
So we're going for it then.
I told you that at the beginning. Why are you surprised about
Rules
this?
of engagement.
Have you not met your wife? I am a completionist.
Quite a bit darker than the
dark.
west side.
Is this the English?
Yeah, this is Listermann's Wrath of Bjorn, which is an English barley wine.
I'll drink this while you finish this. So this is a 10.8 ABV. They do not say IBUs because they're made up and don't matter. Wrath of Bjorn is our English-inspired barley wine made with Maris Otter and English crystal malts. This beer offers notes of dried cherries dipped in honey, Grandma's homemade caramels, and nutty English toffee. Tip back and enjoy. I should have proofread that first. Oh, man, I got a burp that's just like hanging out.
Oh, yeah.
I hate it.
Yeah. Okay.
This is much more caramely in flavor.
Yeah, so color-wise, there was somewhere where I saw that. Amber to light brown. I would argue this is more of a dark brown.
Holding it to the light, I see it amber.
Yeah, I mean, if you look at if you tilt your glass and look through the corner of it, it's definitely amber.
But it's a dark amber.
Yeah.
This is like, it's toffee or treacle or.
Yeah, the head of yours is basically non-existent. You said this is from 2021?
This is from last year. This is also a 2023.
2023, okay.
They don't have a date on it.
February is roughly what we're looking at.
Okay.
So about the same time frame as the West Side barley wines.
Brink had a barley wine release recently, too.
Yeah,
It was in English.
yeah. Brink has their Kelly's Candy.
Yeah.
Yes.
I'm trying.
Is that a barley wine?
It is
Yeah, it's a barley wine.
Because that is Kelly's favorite style of beer.
Yeah.
No, that's not what they released. It was called Up or something.
Pillowcase candy we have purchased.
No, this was a barley wine. That's a stout.
Oh, okay. So sidebar. Oh, jeez. That we'll probably make it into the bloopers. This is the potty training trains that we use on Joe. Elliot. We use them on Elliot. Have you listened to the most recent episode of Truth, Beer, and Consequences? No. Marco says we use these for you.
I missed that, apparently.
Apparently.
I don't know if that made it in the cut.
I don't know either, but it was there.
There
was also something else that he tried to pull, and I did what? Like I hopefully did not make it in. We can talk about that one later if you want to. So Lily hers is for if she stops sucking on her finger. But so it's supposed to be she has her train whenever she has a Band-Aid on her finger. She can have her train. And then when I can finally stop having to remind her as much to get her finger out of her mouth, she gets a Barbie.
Oh.
And then when she finally just stops sucking it entirely, she gets a really nice Squishmallow, and we can finally paint her fingernails because she really wants to have her fingernails painted.
But I'm not painting her fingernails if she's like sucking on it.
Yeah, I'm like, I can't do that because like she's at the point too where it's like she doesn't even realize that she's doing it, and I'm like, the paint's still gonna be wet. Like I can't do that. Not an option. Okay, bud, just take her into the living room, please. Okay, what point are we back?
No, this is all stagnant.
Yeah.
I don't know what you're talking about. This is great content.
So hi, Julia, specifically from Truth, Fear, and Consequences. What counts are you doing? And good luck. We got 3 different people drinking on camera.
This is just chaos.
We have 3 small children, 4 if you include the one that's not mobile.
I don't know. He's basically attached to it.
6 barley wines plus whatever we want to pull from the basement when we decide that we're going to keep talking and we have more beer. And Joe's like, oh no.
You brought up 2 of these.
I did because I didn't.
I'm like, what are you doing?
They're smaller cans.
That is plenty of beer.
I mean,
all of us.
Yeah, I mean, I think we have enough.
Yeah, and time is it now? We got a 40-minute trek home.
Oh yeah, I forgot about that bit.
Yeah.
So we'll finish. I don't think we'll be getting into bonus beers.
Yeah, no bonus beers.
Bonus beers.
Do-do-do-do.
We don't do that. Yeah.
No.
What else do we want to cover?
This is so nice.
Yeah.
We covered a little bit about family.
I like this so much better than the American barley wine.
And like,
it's a lot maltier.
Yeah.
For sure.
It doesn't have a lot of carbonation to it, which I don't think was entirely intentional, but might have been. Part of it could have been the way that I poured it. But it like reminds me of a cask ale, and I really... Can we just go to England for like a weekend so I can just drink all of the cask ales?
So, while you're on the cask ale subject, Barrique, who has this last barley wine here, they are in Nashville. They are my favorite brewery outside of Cincinnati.
Okay.
Everything they do enters a barrel at some point. They have
everything.
Even
Like
their
wooden
Pilsner
casks.
goes into a barrel. But they have side pull for a lot of their Pilsners and lagers and other lagers and things. But they also always have at least 1 beer on cask.
Is that on the way to Myrtle Beach? It's not.
It
but
is
can
not.
it be?
No, but you mentioned a trip. I want to go. I want to go to Nashville.
Nashville.
Now you want to go to Nashville, okay?
Has very good breweries, but also tell them that I sent you because they know me.
Do they really?
This crazy guy that ties people to train tracks.
Yeah.
Yeah. The Matt and Kyle down at Barrique are great people, and I am a out of town regular.
So you go to Nashville a lot, or do you order online?
Well, so my friends and I historically went down for a board gaming convention, Tennessee Game Days.
I'm assuming that means you go to Gen Con.
Do not go to Gen Con.
Okay, I got a story for you about that later. So but continue.
All right. Gen Con is too busy.
Continue.
But so we like to play board games, and one of my friends specifically and I like to take a day and go to breweries. Because what else are you going to do? You can't just spend, 4 days playing all board games all the time.
I know, yeah. You have to see the city.
I mean, you can.
You could, but
there are breweries. You're right. So we went to Nashville.
Does the convention have beer? I guess it doesn't.
It does not.
But it doesn't have. It wouldn't have all the beer anyway. So you want all of the beer.
So we went to Barrique and we sat there for just 2 or 3 hours at the bar and chewed the fat with them, and I fell in love with the place.
Okay.
And we have a friend that lives down there, and so one of my good friends lives down there in Nashville and got married 2 years ago. Yeah, 2 years ago.
Time is a construct when you have kids.
Yeah, right. A year plus ago. Michelle wasn't pregnant with Ben yet, but Ezra was almost 2. So yeah, I guess more than a year ago. Anyway, and I was down there that year. Went to Barrique in the spring, went back in September for bachelor party, and went back again in October when I was down there for the wedding. So
those are some nice close timelines for people to kind of remember.
Right. You. And I don't exactly have a face that is unrecognizable. I mean,
what wax do you use?
I make my own.
Ah, nice.
But so yeah, I make. That was another pandemic era thing is that Michelle bought me the ingredients to start making my own mustache wax. But anyway, so the guys got to know me and I got to know them. And then for our anniversary in 2022, Michelle drove me down to Nashville. She didn't tell me where we were going. She said, we're going somewhere and we're going to spend the day and then we're going to drive back. And so she drove me down to Barrique. I spent an entire day just hanging out there and she did too. And, drinking and hanging out. And then we drove back up here in a single day.
You can do it.
Right. It's a 4-hour trip down. It's not ideal.
And we're Midwesterners. We would rather drive than fly anywhere anyway.
That's right. Well, if you're going to spend 2 hours at the airport checking in and everything. And
you might as well just drive for 16 hours straight. That's
right. Yeah, it's fine. but yeah, so these guys, Barrique, have a lot of my love.
Mm-hmm. Okay, so Gen Con story that is not mine, but is in our friend group. Small town of Cincinnati, Ohio. This is before we knew all of these people. Married couple goes and hangs out in Indianapolis at Gen Con. Meets this cool guy named Tony. They hang out at Gen Con, exchange email addresses because that's what cool kids do.
Right.
And so then find out that, they both live in Cincinnati. So they invite Tony over to their house, and Tony's family is like, wait, what? Like, do you know these people? Like, they're gonna like, what even is this?
Yeah.
So people who met up in Indianapolis but actually live like
together in Cincinnati,
10 minutes from each other in Cincinnati. Like, he goes to their house and everything's cool, but then it was a running joke that like they are on the long con to try to.
YouTube will take it down if you say the K word.
And then something happened with us and him. Where it was like, oh, you thought it was them, but really it was us. I miss cask ales.
I love cask ale. Why does Cincinnati not? I know I talked about this on the Truth Beer Pod anniversary episode, but why does Cincinnati not have a cask ale?
Go.
We finally have some places with side pulls.
Yeah.
We need cask. Somebody out there in the Cincinnati brewing community. Kelly, get it on at Third Eye.
Yeah.
Do you think Wooden... I talked to the guys at Wooden Cask.
Yeah.
And I think that was their original
plan
concept, but no one likes it. It's not carbonated. It's not carbonated at all.
Right, except for what natural carbonation happens with the yeast in the barrel, which is not a lot.
Okay, some of us drink our beers when they're flat because we're running after children, or it's the next day and we didn't want to pour out 3/4 of a beer. It's fine.
It's good. I mean, it's good beer. It is a little niche. Usually it's warm too.
Cellar temperature.
I don't know. In England, it was not cellar temperature.
Okay.
It was also the middle of summer.
It was, July. It was room temperature. I mean, it was just right there under the bar. I mean, then they had to crank it and pump it out.
What was the one that Brian and Graham recommended? Was it like Utica or something like that? I want to say it was Utica, but I don't remember.
I don't know.
It was really cool because it was like we only went to one side, but it was the same brewery, but it was like 2 different towers on opposite sides of a park.
Oh, cool.
So you could like go to the east or the west tap room. It was interesting.
That's awesome.
And we did not spend near as much time there as I wish that we would have now.
Well, I got something there, and then it blew. And I tried to get something else, and it blew.
He had the
Did they stop letting you pick beer?
They were not happy with me at all. And we also went late at night, too. I remember it was
London was insane because like everything closed at 9. Oh, so everything closed so ridiculously early.
Yeah.
Like we had just gotten from Scotland, and I know we've talked about this before on the pod, but it doesn't matter.
Well, there's like England has the thing where like they force you out of the bars at a certain time.
They do. So like we had come from Edinburgh, where we're like, it's July, so like the sun doesn't like super set, it like sort of sets. How much more do you want? More or no more?
That's probably sufficient.
Okay. So the sun doesn't like super set. Like there's always this kind of like it's super sunset haze over the whole town at night. And so we're like just chilling. We're still on America time because it was our first stop of the whole place. And we're in this bar. And then we're like, well, what time is it? And it's like, oh, it's like 11.
Oh, it's closing time.
There's still a lot of people here. Don't you guys have jobs? It's a Tuesday. What is going on here? Okay, so we just opened up from Barrique Brewing and Blending. Barrique Brewing and Blending. This is 13 to Life, L-Y-F-E. It's a Pilsner malt boiled for 13 hours, fermented in stainless, aged 13 months in Willet bourbon barrels. And it's a barrel-aged barley wine. This is half a liter of beer. And they don't tell me what the ABV is. Are they legally allowed to do that?
It is
What?
15.4%.
Okay. Their government warning is really cool because, you know, like in the Santa Claus where they zoom in on the business card and they're like, oh, yeah, there's a clause in this. And then the Santa Claus 2, they zoom in even more and there's a clause in the clause. It's super cool. Their government warning goes around and it's like, oh, that is a thing. It's not just decorative.
This smells really boozy.
You can taste the bourbon barrel for sure.
Yeah.
I think maybe the ABV is along the side there.
No, it just says brewed and bottled by.
Oh.
And then Nashville, Tennessee. This is, I mean, all the bottle information's on the bottom, but I do not see anything on here that mentions an ABV.
Maybe Tennessee does not require an ABV. 500
milliliters, 1.9 fluid ounces.
Yeah.
It's probably on there somewhere. I mean, the text is extremely small.
Reading the whole thing, hun, and it ain't here.
So let me read their description on the beer rating application.
Oh man, this is good. I don't know that it tastes like this is so different from all of it. Like, I don't know if I would call it a barley. It just tastes like it tastes to me like a barrel aged something. Like
like perhaps a barrel aged barley wine.
No, that's all I get. No, but
yeah, you don't get any of the character we got in any of these others.
No,
I just get the barrel and the booze.
So their description here, the bigger, fuller description. Brewed using 100% Weyermann Pilsner malt and a Party Guile mash, where only the strongest wort or first runnings were collected into our small kettle and boiled for 13 hours to coax out deep Maillard reactions. The second runnings were collected in the big kettle and became 20 Degrees of Nowhere, our 2020 Doppelbock release. 13 to Life was rested in Willet bourbon barrels for 13 months. The final blend comprised of 2 8-year-old high rye Willet barrels and 1 3-year-old high rye Willet barrel. A complex aroma of cacao, caramel, and charred oak leaps out of the glass. Bold flavors of vanilla, toffee, raisins, and plums. Subtle notes of cinnamon and banana bread with some sherry-like sweetness and alcohol warmth.
I definitely get the warmth and everything else that's there.
I mean, that's a lot of flavor. I get the warmth. I get the.
This is a punch in the face in the best way.
Yes.
Yeah.
This is if we were not splitting this would be my one beer for like the entire day.
Yeah. This is so good though.
It is.
So you said this is in Nashville.
Nashville.
brewery,
Yep.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And everything they do goes into
a barrel at some point.
And they have a cask tap.
Okay.
And side pull taps.
We will put that on the list.
I just vetoed your original suggestion.
What was my original suggestion?
Cleveland. I mean, I was going to veto Cleveland anyway because
it's about the same drive time.
I suggested Cleveland around the same time that they released their Christmas sale.
this is true.
Because I wanted to go. They do a bunch of releases. Like,
Yeah.
I think they do like an aged Christmas sale or whatever. They do a bunch of stuff.
The big thing that I need right now, though, is recommendations for Richmond, Virginia. And to see if I can convince my coworker
The Veil.
to go. Okay.
Wow.
So
It's like we have someone right here.
yeah. I got a work trip coming up.
So you're going to go to the Veil. They have a Thai restaurant attached to their brewery.
I love Thai and Joe won't eat it, so yes.
And some of their easier to more mass market beers are available locally.
I feel like I've heard of them.
Yeah.
But like a lot of their sours and their barrel aged and wild ales and things are only available at their tap room.
Okay. I have to start planning.
Okay.
Anyway.
So final thoughts on the barley wines.
It's so delicious.
Yeah.
And I need more of it. But maybe not tonight because I
Yeah.
will really regret it in the morning.
Yeah.
Yep.
Maybe not tonight.
But
We had 6.
we did it.
6 different varieties, each very different. Thank you, West Side. I guess we should disclose that we got this from West Side. They gave
With
it
0 strings attached, but we always attach strings to it because we want to promote them anytime we possibly can. Because
Yeah.
hit the button. Well, you have to turn up the volume first because the
West
kids
side, best side.
messed with the board for a hot second.
yeah.
You should always promote the places that you love.
Oh,
Yeah,
for sure.
and then
I mean, case in point, Urban Artifacture.
yeah,
The
I don't
only
know if they
reason-
can see it with. the logo.
Oh, yeah. I'm sorry.
The only reason why I'm not wearing beer gear is because Lily asked me if I wanted to be twinsies this morning, and you can't say no to
No,
that.
You always say yes, yeah. But yeah, coming out of the 16 lot business, always go to your local place. Like you read the comments on the 16 lot thing, and it's like, I love that place. I went on opening day, and I've never been since. It's
Right.
like, well, that's the problem.
Yeah.
I mean, if you like a place, go to it. Give them money.
And while we might not always go to
West side, best side.
like
We try to
all the time.
we buy distribution. We
Yeah.
try to shout them out as much as possible.
Yeah.
And same with 13 Below. That's one of the smaller ones in Cincinnati. It's they're kind of quiet. They don't distribute. They do can though.
They do.
And they're right there if you want to stop.
So you said that you're a stone's throw from
But-
Grainworks. We're like a few stone's throws from
Yeah.
13 Below.
Yeah. But
I think
and-
it's less than 2 miles from our front door to Grainworks.
yeah. Yeah, so just go to your local place that you like to go to, or whichever place that you like, because if you don't go there, they don't have an income.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And,
Like-
and tell people that you love that place.
Yeah.
Like, don't, if you go, great. But also tell people.
Or like, hey, I'm at my favorite
Or
local
bring them, drag them,
eatery.
Right,
drag them
right.
there.
Drag them kicking and screaming.
I'm at my favorite local eatery that serves beer. Hey, why don't you have this brewery on tap? Because I would drink so much more beer if you had this brewery on tap.
Right.
Hit this button, bud. This one right here.
He wants to hit the green.
You want to hit the green one?
You may not hit the green.
The green one, you can hit yellow or this middle purple. And that is Elliot for you. You can hit this one or that one.
All right.
This
all right.
completely different one that you didn't even mention.
Okay. So, Elijah, thank you so much for coming over.
Yeah.
I know you have 2 kids. One of them is like brand new. And I know it's a lot of sacrifice. It's a lot of sacrifice to come to the West Side to drink some beer, I'm sure.
Our kids have not really seen us podcast for as much as we've podcast.
Yeah.
I know, yeah.
We usually do it when they're sleeping.
Right.
It's how much.
I cannot thank my wife enough for coming out here.
Oh, for sure. And thank you so much to our babysitter who is helping us wrangle these crazy ones.
Yeah, and I will say that if it weren't for you and your wife and your 2 kids coming, we would still have our Christmas tree up.
Oh, I am petitioning. This is my official petition for a Christmas tree, a Valentine's tree, an Easter tree, a 4th of July tree. Well, okay, Easter tree, we can probably end it. But we took the tree down, and I'm like, our entryway is so dark now.
So you guys are an artificial tree?
Yes. I am allergic to anything that is green that grows.
Oh.
And like 90% of the things that have fur.
Okay.
So it is not an option for us.
Yeah. We're live tree people, and
apparently our neighbors are, because theirs is currently chilling out in the backyard.
Yeah.
Is that what they are doing?
Yeah. Mine's in my fire pit.
That's a good place for it. I mean, I'd like to, but
No touching.
I also enjoy breathing, and I'm allergic to most things. So
Yeah.
Yeah, we appreciate it.
yeah, thank you very much for coming. Joe might add music in post at this point.
Yep.
Because we have hit the...
We
all of
might
the
do
buttons.
audio only at this point. I don't know why I thought.
It was my pleasure. Thanks
Like,
for having me.
follow, subscribe.